my melon squares. Got sweet potatoes and melons in them. 3 kinds of watermelon and 2 or 3 kinds of cantaloupe. There's a zucchini. There's a couple of big melons tucked in there. You can see them. These are green zucchini, striped zucchini. I missed one on the striped zucchini. It's huge down there. I'm going to have to get that picked. And then that's spineless zucchini. That's been doing well. They're all in the hay bales. Then strawberry watermelon in this hay bale. And I planted those recently. I planted some over there real recently too. There's my tomato row. It's 33 tomatoes. Not doing so well. There's a few of them that have got some big ones. They're almost all heirlooms. And the heirlooms have that, some of them have like big tomatoes, but only 1 or 2 or 3 on them. And a lot of them died and just struggle. I've had several die, and then I'll put new things in. There's a green giant. That's the tall one. That's why they're called green giant, I guess. And one of these tomatoes is really big. This one, I think it's a Big Zach. Yeah, Big Zach. I got that because my son's name is Zach, and because I like big tomatoes. The person at the seed store told me that they have a customer who gets them to 6 pounds. That'd be fun. I stuck some peppers in the hay bales, so we'll see how they do. I stuck a few tomatoes in the hay bales. That's some okra I planted along the side. For some reason, these cucumbers and this is SMR 58. These cucumbers were doing great, and then all of a sudden they started wilting on top. So I'm not sure what happened. I'll just plant more, I guess. These are cantaloupe, and they're doing that wilting thing too on the upper stems. Another okra. And a tomato stuck in there. Another tomato stuck in here. And more cucumbers. I was getting a fair number, and then all of a sudden they kind of died off. Here's a cucumber. I need enough to make some pickles. These are some Japanese. I put this up here to shade them because they tend to wilt in the sun in the afternoon. That's some kind of cantaloupe growing there. These are kind of a hard name to pronounce. If I can, oh, my steak doesn't have it on there anymore. But they're growing up over the top. They're a Japanese kind. This one is called Calypso. It's supposed to be more female flowers and produce more. I haven't noticed that it does. So, can't always believe the hype. So there's the cattle panel arch inside of the hay bale rows. And that's 3 cattle panels. Got cantaloupe and cucumbers growing up it. And I thought maybe tomatoes might too, so I stuck a few in. But these cucumbers, I might have to just plant more in the hay bales so they'll use this. I'm not sure if they like growing vertically. I see I've got some more cucumbers. I just checked yesterday. I don't know how I missed those. But they were doing better. Some of them are really wilting. But they're going right up over the top. That's kind of fun. I wanted to do an arch right over here. That's a nature park. I wanted to do an arch right over here and plant a bunch of cool looking gourds and birdhouse gourds going up over it on both sides, and I don't have the energy and stamina to do all that by myself. It'll take time. This is my big millionaire tomato. A couple of them. They're pretty huge, but that's 2 tomatoes right there. 4, 6, 7, 8. There's only about 9 tomatoes on here. It's kind of a big plant. There's only about 9 on there for some reason. And some of these other tomatoes I planted really late are really taking off now. I'm not sure which one that is. It's really getting tall. Oh, Big Daddy. Well, that'd be one Big Daddy that's making it to fruition. I had so many, And they just, more tomatoes over there. And some cherry tomatoes up here. Chocolate sprinkles and chocolate cherry and a Cherokee purple. This is Better Boy, and it's going clear over into the Jetstar's cage, and it's got some really huge tomatoes on it. And an Amish paste, I thought was going to die. I was going to pull it out, but I thought, oh, what the heck, I'll leave it. And it's got quite a few tomatoes on them. They look pretty scarred up. And this black Krim, I thought it was going to die. It's hanging in there and got a few tomatoes. Those two I bought at the store, but I don't know why they didn't like it or what was wrong with them. I think they had viral wilt. That's Better Boy. Some webs down there. And the Better Boy, this one in particular, and that other one, put on tomatoes, put on fruit early, and ripened earlier than anything, except the German lunchbox. Here's some more of my road tomatoes here. There's a few of them that have got some tomatoes on them. They're really rather disappointing. Well, this one's got more tomatoes on it. I think that's coming off of this one, which would be maybe Millionaire or Better Boy. I don't know which one they're coming off of. My potato patch, it's kind of over now. It was totally full. With tall plants, which is amazing because this whole garden was a sudden decision, and I didn't till anything. It had a nice lawn, nice grass. I just spread some composted manure I bought from Orscheln's, real thin across this patch, and then put seed potatoes in little piles of dirt here and there, and put some hay over them. Not very much. I didn't have a lot, so I just put a little bit around them. It really needed a lot more soil and hay, but they still worked, and they grew, and they were healthy, and they made potatoes. To my surprise, I didn't think I'd really get anything, but there's potatoes under there, and I need to dig them all up. Now that the moon is full and waning, I think I will do that, just in case it makes any difference. This is my onion bed. They just never liked being in here, even though I mixed a lot of nice soil and peat and everything. And there's a few still going, so I threw some dill seeds in here, and they're finally coming up. It's a volunteer sunflower. So another squash, and then another squash. My spearmint patch, it only took like a couple of plants to start that last year or the year before. These were another one of the biggest tomatoes plants I had from the very beginning. I planted hundreds of them from seed. These are giant Belgian pink, and look pretty scarred up, but I can't hardly tell which tomatoes belong to which plant. This might be a giant Belgian pink here. It's pretty big. There's some more down in there that are pretty big, and I can't tell if they belong to this plant or belong to this one back here, which is, this one back here is classic beefsteak. These are the classic beefsteak, I think. I think those down in there are the giant Belgian pink. So they're finally making some tomatoes. Those are German lunchbox over there. They're very prolific, and I picked them like 2 or 3 days in a row. And that's the green giant that I got the 1 pound, 5.8 ounce tomato off of the other day, and it was pretty good, sweet, mild. But then we've had a week of a lot of rain, so they might have more flavor normally if you can harvest them when it had a few days of no rain or water, so they don't get so diluted. That's a grape tomato, a lot of blossoms and stuff, not a lot of tomatoes yet. And I got some marigolds and my strawberry patch and the pepper. I planted everything late. We had snow April 17th and frost late in May. So, plus I'm older and slower, and I just planted stuff as I could. So, things are at different stages, which is kind of a good thing, I hear. More of the German lunchbox, and then this one is Millionaire on the end. It's got another super big tomato. So far, Green Giant and Millionaire are my biggest tomatoes. Except that one down there looks pretty big, and I think